Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I will be reviewing Ancient Enemies by Dan Didio, and this is issue 3 of 6. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough it does, to which we, as you can see, one of the characters there is meeting up with someone at a bit of a cafe, or at a diner, and the character that you see on the right hand side is called Michael, or or Genie, or Ginny, or Jin. To which I give this cover an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the internal art, to which I think with this I might just go all the way through it, showing every page, or showing as many pages as possible, and then we'll move to the internal art rating, and then finally move into the story and its rating. So as we move into the beginning of the story, we get some things happening basically at Border Patrol, and you've got people wondering, okay, what's holding them up? We get to jump to the next couple of pages and we get to see what exactly is holding them up. We finally move into a sort of like press conference, finally finishing with the president that's actually in charge of the nation. We don't know what his name actually is yet, but we'll probably learn it later on if in further issues. And also his connection with the heroes. As things progress, we finally get to meet up with the characters that we actually get to see on the cover. We got Michael, who is also called Genie, or Jin, and they have a bit of a talk at the cafe. He moves along, and she practically has to as well. Things continue with a number of the characters once again. We don't get all of the characters, and this is sort of like my only small critique. We move into an alien versus the Jin fight. The fight continues. We start to move outside of the location to one of the rivers nearby, and we get the character of the first respondent making his reappearance once again. But I want to actually include some of these additional things that were shown in this particular book. So we get a bit of a indication of some of the things that have happened, and we've got the character of the first respondent here. We get to see some of the damage that they do, and moving into a bit of bonus material, which is really nice, is how this world is actually set up by Dan Didio. And we get the character, we get the area of New Jersey, we get Long Island, Brooklyn, and this is the area known as Americana, and some of the other locations that have that will probably show up later in the story, as well as what have shown up presently in the story, and also what to expect in upcoming issues. Well, if it's one thing I really want to point out, is the consistency with the art with each and every issue that has presently come out. I know that this is issue 3, so for issue 3, the art gets an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the story. So first things first, did we get anything covering the area of time? Sure enough, we did, around the first part of the book, to which we had the next day, and also around the last part of the book, to which we had take place in November 23 to 24. So it gives us a bit of an indication as to when some of these events have taken place. I could have gone into time, but I thought that maybe adding the actual time in regards to the dates that were shown, it was probably a little bit safer to leave it, sort of like the time around the events having to do with the first respondent, because it's sort of like covered, I think it was around 11 to sort of like 1 p.m. in that time period, so I thought I'd leave that out, but just keep the days in it. Moving into the next area, and that is location. We had Delaware, so the first part of it took place at the Delaware border and the Border Patrol. We had Joe's Diner. We had several miles down the river, again in Delaware. And we do return to Americana, which was shown actually on that map. Last but not least, the cast of characters. We had Chewie Ryan, who was one of the people in the vehicles. I don't know if anything's going to be planned later on for that character or not, unknown. We also had the president. We had Morrigan, Michael, who is the genie. We also had Maddie and Tragon, to which we learned that Tragon was the beast that was attacking the bridge, or the alien that was attacking the bridge. For the overall story rating, I give it an 8 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.